too. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, let me fade this out like I'm a professional. Oh, I'm gonna have to get rid of that track. I hate that. Anyway, I wanted okay, let me know you guys can hear me. Cause I miss you too, thank you. I miss everyone, you know? Gee. Wait, what was I saying? Alright, okay. Oh shit, I totally lost it. Oh, that's so nice though, thank you. Yeah, it totally threw me off. I'm not used to people like saying nice stuff to me on here. No, but that's not even a joke there. No, but so I wanted to like start this off with some anarchists that are like cool, who I like dig. Um because I feel like I feel like we're gonna have to talk about Antiwork. And if you don't know, our Antiwork is a subreddit. It is about like um not working. It's anti-capitalist and sort of a degrowth kind of thing. Gold set up there or Goid. Hmm? Oh, thank you. I always feel like I'm like changing everything all the time. I guess because I am. But thank you. I'm glad you like this configuration. If this works, then I will keep it. But okay, so if you haven't been on the subreddit Antiwork, there's been some major drama. Um yeah, so like I said, it's an anti-capitalist sort of it's where a lot of people have been gathering and commiserating and talking about like their experiences in the workplace and the exploitation that they experience there. Um, people. One of the popular like types of posts that people share is like people sharing text messages, exchanges between themselves and their bosses, like being unreasonable, asking for like uh, or expecting or rather demanding them to like come in and work, even or like just asking for things that are completely unreasonable and sometimes like just completely unnecessary. Well, always unnecessary, and people just kind of getting fed up and quitting. And there's been a real like sense of solidarity between a lot of people in the subreddit. I've been in it for a while. I thought it was pretty great. And then, well, a couple days ago, I guess, they set up a poll to see if the commentators and redditors um, on the subreddit would support them or support a moderator of the subreddit, like doing an interview on Fox News. Everyone like pretty much said no, that it was a bad idea. Yet despite that, an interview took place, and that is what I'm gonna play for you guys. And I feel like we should discuss this because, well, you'll see what I'm talking about. But like, I've noticed this with a lot of like self um, identifying anarchists. There's certain tendencies, and I don't understand it at all. And like, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm not an anarchist officially because I just don't know what the deal is. So yeah, let me just pull this up. And this has been everywhere. If you're at all familiar with this kind of stuff, then you've probably seen this by now. But like, it's still kind of. I mean, I kind of still can't believe it. Like, I watched it a couple times, and I'm still like, there's no way that really just happened. Like, did I really just see that? Like, yeah. So here we go. Yeah. I'm glad I finally got on here though. I don't know like why it always takes me like forever to get on here. Sorry about that. And it'll be changing in the future pretty soon. Just get set up. I'm getting it. I'm like for real this time. I'm like seriously getting it together, I promise. Anyway, let's see if I can get this thing that I pre-configured up here really quickly. Let's see. I know I have to redo it. Great. Awesome. Thank you. Great. I love it. Great. Is this it? Not quite. Wonderful. I'm doing amazing. Bear with me, please. Here we go. Okay, let's see if I can. All right. Oh, this would probably help, wouldn't it? There we go. All right, you guys got to see this like full screen. Anyway. It's only a few minutes. We'll be back soon.
Million subscribers. Joining me now is the person who operates this anti-work group, Doreen Ford. All right, so Doreen, why do you like the idea of being home, not working, but still getting paid by corporate America?
Yeah, so there's some misconceptions about the movement. So we're a movement where we want to reduce the amount of work that people feel like they're forced to do. And so we want to still put in effort, we want to put in labor, but we don't want to necessarily be in a position where we feel trapped. You just quoted from Office Space where that person feels very trapped in their job. I think we're calling for a society where there's less of that. But yeah, absolutely, people still want to do things. They just want to do things where they feel rewarded and they feel like they're in a good spot in their life, and that their job respects them and stuff like that. There's varying.
So Doreen, you're not being forced to work. This isn't slave labor. You've applied for a job. You've agreed to the terms and conditions of the employment, and you can walk away from that job at any time and quit. So I don't understand really what this is about, except it sounds like maybe people are just being lazy. Are you encouraging people to be lazy?
So I think laziness is a virtue in a society where people constantly want you to be productive 24/7, and it's good to have rest. That doesn't mean you should be resting all the time or not putting effort into things that you care about. But I think one of the
what do you think is like a good work day? How many hours is a solid work day in your ideal society?
Sure. I mean, I think as much as people want. I mean, I personally work. I have like a 20-25 hour work weeks, which I think is fairly good. So I would like less work hours.
And what do you do, Doreen?
I'm a dog walker.
A dog walker. Okay.
Yes.
And how?
So
how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Sure, I'm 30.
You're 30. Okay. And is there something you want to do besides being a dog walker? Do you aspire to do anything more than dog walking, or is that kind of your pinnacle?
I love working with dogs. If I had to do this for the rest of my life, I wouldn't be super complaining. Dogs are wonderful animals. But I would love to teach. I would love to, work with people and stuff like that.
What would you teach, Doreen?
Philosophy mostly.
Philosophy.
Just introduction to philosophy, critical thinking, reason, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I would love to take your class, Doreen. I would just be taking notes the whole time. And you know what? A professor's a very similar schedule than something that you're imagining. So I think that actually might work perfectly for you. Listen, I think this might not be the greatest idea, but who am I to judge? To each their own, they say. It's a free country.
Sure.
Not everything's free, but it is a free country. Thank you so much. Sure. We got to run. We got to pay the bills.
Oh, Yeah, we had to. I felt like this deserved talking. And thank you, Andy. I appreciate that. Like, it's so nice. That's so sweet. I don't know who that is. Okay. Uh, I don't know. What? I don't know. Unless this guy says something that makes sense, I'm gonna like just delete this. Yeah, I'm gonna just delete that. I don't know who you are. Bye. Boop. Yeah, I figure. Thank you. Alright, thanks for confirming that. Yeah, okay, so like okay, I like how does Fox News, how did they find these people? Like, I've been in this subreddit for months now. I didn't fucking find these people. Like, how did they find them? Like, like, I'm sorry, but like, okay, so as you might imagine, this caused an uproar in the subreddit. People were incredibly mad. And I think it's really valid. And I think that this is something that the left, like, you see a lot on the left. And I think it's something that really should be addressed because there's no reason for this kind of shit. I'm sorry. There just isn't. Like, ugh. Anyway, so let's see if I can pull up some, like, a few comments I thought were particularly. This is all from the subreddit. And, like, oh my god. I just find myself nodding along, and it's like, I don't know, I just think it's a good, like, jumping off point for a conversation, especially because the way that the moderator that you just saw on an as someone who has to think about lighting and shit, let me just tell you, you have to put the light in front of your face, okay? If you're going to be on any kind of visual, like, thing, any kind of visual medium, you have to put the light in front of your face, okay? Like, you can't... Oh my god. I mean... Ooh. I just feel like that's very, you know, get like a... Jeez, don't even get me started. Anyway, just the tack that this particular moderator took after that, I've seen this kind of dynamic play out before in you know, left-wing political circles, some Portland-centric left-wing political circles. And I just there's a lot of stuff that I don't get, so maybe you guys can help me figure this out. Maybe you guys have some insight that I don't have. Okay. Let's see. CNN had a very similar interview like this with a 30-year-old man who got evicted from his parents' house because he wouldn't get a job. It's like CNN and Fox do interviews like these purely for the entertainment value, and they do. Very much they do. Like, I mean, I don't. I feel like Fox and CNN, well, and you know, NBC, well, all of them really, ABC too. It's very obvious. Like, I mean, I think the contradictions on COVID data and the assumptions and the conclusions that all of these like major networks have drawn from data that is like clearly contradictory to what they claim, it definitely shows you how much of a like outlet it really just is for like billionaires, you know, like especially Fox, especially CNN. They have agendas. They hate the poor, hate people who aren't billionaires, and they just kind of, you know, use their wealth to buy Congress even more and to, you know, further enact their own agendas. So I mean, everyone told this mod not to do this interview with Fox News. Just bear that in mind, okay? Okay, so this mod comes on, the one that just gave that interview that we just saw, okay, and says, okay, so in response to all this criticism about, they find these people on purpose, she says, I barely have the energy for one account, sorry, that was her on a burner account, so contradictory right there. Anyway, someone responds, if you have that little energy, then why are you going on national TV and representing our movement? Extremely poor decision. I don't think you realize how much damage you've done. We can't afford to half-ass our opportunities to spread our message. We need someone who is prepared to deliver convincing talking points eloquently to a hostile audience, not just any random moderator who's willing to go on TV. Now, here's a contradiction that I see right away. Okay, so when the left finally has, like, someone online who's, like, a streamer, who's on Twitch, who explains these, like, concepts and the left-wing, like, perspective of things, like Hasanabi, everyone fucking piles on him for being, like, successful. So it's like people want someone who's, like, eloquent, who can explain these concepts, but then when someone comes along who is competent and consistent and who actually does the job that like people say that they need and that they want to see done, it's a fucking problem. Because, I don't know, he makes too much money, I guess? I don't know. Oh, what? Oh, sorry, I just got this, Annie. What? What's up? Oh, thank you. Is this linked or... Wait, why is it giving me this? Oh my god, it's always giving me new stuff. Oh, thank you, Andy. I appreciate that. I always forget to, like, share this. Thank you so much. Yeah, so, okay. So, I don't know, like, I just see this kind of stuff crop up over and over again. It's like, oh, you know, we need someone who's competent. We need someone who can do this. We need someone who can be, like, a part of the movement and an asset to the movement, and that's great. And then when we get one, it's like, oh no, it's terrible, tear him down, oh my god, and oh, he's attractive, how dare he be attractive, and say things that make sense, God forbid, like, what the fuck? I don't understand what everyone's fucking attitude is. Like, I mean, everyone, like, oh my god, like, the Bad Faith Pod, like, fucking everyone was on Hasanabi for being able to afford a house in LA. Like, again, like, I don't know, this just, I've never, like, really talked about this, I guess, but, like, I just think it's really bullshit, because the thing is, if you have live streamed, if you have been, like, someone who is not a fucking Trump supporter, and you've tried to talk about political stuff, then you should be fucking glad that someone is being successful with that. Like, that's a good thing. I mean, my god, like, I just think, like, you know, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, my own family didn't understand what the fuck I was doing on YouTube, what the hell a live stream was, who I was talking to, like, saying, oh, I can't hear the other voices. There are no other voices. Like, I mean, people forget how new this kind of stuff is. And to see someone actually be successful while live streaming, you should be... If you were not a complete fucking phony, you would find that awesome. Because if if someone's gonna come on, like, on the internet and live stream for 16 hours a day for fucking, like, a year and a half without taking a fucking day off, that person should be fucking successful. And if they can't be successful, then guess what? No one can be. And people say, oh, well, it's not about money. You're not supposed to be, you know, motivated by money. Guess what? We still live in capitalism. We still have to fucking eat. I'm just so sick of all the hypocrisy of this shit, you know? Like, whatever. If you want to tear someone down for being successful, like, get a fucking life, Jesus. It's really crazy, all the hate. Anyway, back to this. All right. Okay, so not just any random moderator who's willing to go on TV. So this moderator, known as Abolish Work, or Doreen, right, I think, says, because it doesn't take that much energy for me to literally turn on my computer and talk to someone. I don't understand this. Oh my god. Like, why? Why do they do this? Why do they respond this way? Oh my god. Like, why would you be like, oh yeah, no, because I was just half-assing it. I can just turn on my computer. Like, get a fucking light in front of your face. It's a visual medium. Why would you not? Oh my god. Anyway. I mean, sure, I was nervous, but it doesn't take a lot of energy. I was pretty tired afterwards, though, just because I felt gross because I talked to Fox News, which everyone told you not to do. And there was no reason for you to do. Like, again, do you see, like, I get so frustrated with this stuff. Like, you hear the same kind of, like, sentiments after a while. It's like, well, you know, when there's a solution to your problem, suddenly it's like, oh, but it's all different. And then it gets all loosey-goosey and it gets all different. It's so annoying. Anyway, okay, I hadn't really considered the eye contact thing because it's not something I really think about. I still think it's an overvalued part of society, and I don't really care if people thought I should have presented myself better. This is a subreddit of like, what, like 1.6, 1.7 million people. Okay. I mean, like, it's really crazy. Like, why? Just like, why? Why? Why would you adhere to, like, your principles? And why would, like, the eye contact thing, like, okay, so you don't think eye contact is important, but we live in a society. Like, you know, there's a social aspect to the world, and eye contact is important. Also, seeing your fucking face is important, Jesus Christ. Oh my god, I get on here at midnight and I have fucking light on my face. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, okay. Totally agree. Whoever did the interview was totally unprepared and it was an embarrassment. It comes off as lazy, which is exactly the point that Fox News is trying to make. He gave softball questions that were 100% predictable, and we couldn't give a solid answer. I'm sorry for being harsh, but for this movement to work, we need to present a clear message for people to understand why this is important. Did you brainstorm with the other mods or people heavily involved to prepare some answers? Did you write down any notes? Did you understand that you were going to be on television? We can do better. Being anti-work is not lazy, it's being passionate for what you believe in, which is that everyone deserves a dignified life. It needs to be about everyone and not just, I'm a dog walker and I would want to be a philosophy teacher in the future. Someone concurs, absolutely. At the bare minimum, brush your hair, fix your lighting, set up a decent room background, and look into the camera if you're going on goddamn national television. Right? Let's see. Someone else concurs, and this is like, oh my god, like, this was such a deluge of, like, criticism that the subreddit it shut down. It went private for like a day, at least. I mean, like, oh my god. And then, oh my god, these crazy, like, facts came out about this same moderator, and yeah, it's been some real fucking crazy drama. So another person concurs. I understand they did their best, but if that was the best, they should have sent someone else or not done it at all. Appearance is extremely important, equally as important as the message, and this interview did a lot of harm to what we are all working towards. We want this movement to change the world. We are going to have to do a lot better than that. Hopefully it's a lesson learned, but chances are that this doesn't happen often, if ever. 100%, the mods here need to get serious. Media, training, coaching, appearance improvements, everything. Which is true. I mean, like, it is so frustrating to, like, want to improve things for everyone. And to keep, like, to keep running into a bunch of, like, really just petty fucking arguments that are just pointless and stupid. Like this. Oh, wow. Okay. And also, by the way, Reddit is not a movement, so I think, okay, I have to say, to be clear, it's worthwhile to have a space where people come together and commiserate. It's worthwhile to have a space where people who might not be open to a particular message that would actually improve their lives might actually be able to find that message accessible in a way that they haven't been able to before. Like, you know, not everyone is going to sit around and read, like, theory from, 1835, okay? Like, it's just not gonna happen. Like, if this is going to become a popular movement, these ideas and concepts have to become accessible in a modern sense. This is another thing. It's like, everyone has so many problems with, like, BreadTube or, like, the dirtbag left. Everyone hates Chapo. Everyone hates, like, all of these, left-wing podcasts. And, oh, God, how dare, like... But, like... people are not going to pick up Lenin, okay? Like, no one is going to bother with that shit. Sorry. Even with Steve Bannon, like, directly, copying Lenin's strategies, no one's gonna make that connection because no one's gonna fucking wade through that shit. Like, this is not accessible stuff. Like, and, it just seems like so much of the left wing, so many, like, subgroups within it become so preoccupied with these, like, purity tests and these ideas of, like, oh, well, I'm more radical than you, and I'm, further left, I'm this, I'm the most radical of the most radical. But, like, that's not actually advancing your goal. Like, again, like, and I can tie this into, like, chaos magic and my perspective on life, but, like, I use what works. I don't care what you call it. Like, I don't know. I'm not married to labels. I'm not married to any particular, like, school of thought. If it works, I will use it. If it stops working, I'll use something else. And I don't understand this idea to pledge allegiance and loyalty and fealty to a long dead movement. Like, I mean, it's great that, like, you might, or, here it all too. There you go. Andy got it. There you go, right? That's the thing, like, people get really invested in these ideas of, like, how things should be, and, like, how their way is the best way, and how what they feel is, and what they align with, and what they identify as is the way to be. And I just think it's bullshit. I mean, one of the great things about Marx and like why Marx was so smart is because he emphasized dialectical materialism. Dialecticalism is about dealing with contradictions, okay? Working with the system in order to overthrow a system. You know? I mean, that's essentially what it means. So, I just, people get so caught up in these, like, orthodoxies, and it's ridiculous, It's not, it doesn't help anything. It just alienates people from your cause, and, like, I just wish that people could grasp that instead of, focusing so much on membership to a special club that makes them feel like they're special, I don't know, I'm not interested in that cult shit, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. So, this was, okay, again, this is a subreddit of like 1.6 million people. So, and everyone has turned on this one mod for doing this thing, this one interview. And I don't blame them. Anyway. Someone says, I used to know Doreen in real life. They are not neurotypical and are good people. Please cut them a break and try not to feed into bullying or a hate spiral. Corporate media will never give a good faith interview anyways. You see what I mean? It's exhausting. Someone responds, why are we doing interviews on corporate media then? We will cut them a break when they decentralize Antiwork, when they implement direct democracy in the decision-making processes for Antiwork, and when they dissolve the informal hierarchy of mod-only decision-making for the Antiwork movement. Again, not really a movement, but 1.7 million people. Yes, 1.7 million people disagree with you. Oy. Okay. Man, and this is true. How long have I been saying on this sub? I don't care if it's a corporate term, we need optics. Someone responds, the fact you gotta play the game to some extent. That's just reality. You can't bring this unprepared shit onto national television and not expect to get roasted. That's the thing, it's like, right there, like, you can't come in with some la shit and then expect your message to actually resonate with people who don't know what you're talking about. You can't expect to convince people, if you're gonna, come in with this completely unconvincing, line of reasoning and just, oh my god, not even having a light on your face. I'm sorry. So, okay, one of her friends, and we know it's a friend, says, here we go. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about with I see this with anarchists, this kind of bullshit. Okay, so the friend says, please give her more credit. Even if she prepared, the host cuts her off, I count 5 times. How are you supposed to move toward any logical conclusion when you're not given time to even consider the question? Were these hard questions? I didn't see any hard questions. You can rewind this and go back and watch that interview and you tell me. You tell me. Were those hard questions? Anyway, continuing on. This isn't a game anyone can win. The house has rigged it. Doreen is trying to answer, and clearly has more to say on all of the questions asked, but is interrupted over and over. You gotta play the game to some extent is exactly the sentiment we're here to point out is ridiculous. Oh, you can't rewind? Oh, shit. Oh, wow. Did that setting actually go through for once? Holy shit. Wow. I guess Streamlabs is actually finally getting this shit together. Sorry about that. But, well, I know. When I finish this, well, I'm gonna have to take the track out at the beginning. But when I do that, you guys will be able to watch it then. Whoops. But when you do, like, let me know. Let me know if those are, like, if any of those are, like, hardball questions. Really, that's, like, and if it's a curveball, hardball, I don't know sports, but anyway. Anyway, is exactly the sentiment we're here to point out is ridiculous. The game is not fair. Some people have conditions that make it so they cannot play the game. Then they shouldn't fucking play it. Like, again, I don't understand, like, how is this a reasonable line of, like, okay, well then if you can't do something, then you can't do something and you should send someone else to do it. It's not fair. But that's fucking life, what can I say, you know? Again, it's not right. It's not fair. But it's the truth. Which game? The rhetorical game. Okay, okay, oh, here we go, right? Okay. I don't want a player to represent me, like how Jesse Waters is a player representing Fox. I want the people who have been on the front lines the longest. Okay, Reddit is not the front lines. Okay, like, again, having a space where people can commiserate and exchange ideas, that's definitely worthwhile. Like, that's definitely valid. But that's not the fucking front lines. You know, it's good for propaganda, it's good for, like, you know, coming up with, like, convincing arguments, it's good for making ideas accessible. But that is not the front line. And this mod is also the oldest mod from this subreddit, so just want to make that clear. Okay, Doreen didn't get roasted. Here we go. She got filleted. Her thoughts sliced down to little bits to unrecognizability. It's like they plundered her mind wallet. Again, like, why? What is, like, how is this reasonable? Like, what is the goal in, like, laying things out this way? Like, do you want to lose? You know, I keep coming back to this, like, when it comes to the left. It's like, do you want to lose? Like, do you just want to suck? Do you want to suck? Or, like, do you want to kick ass? Like, come on, it should not be that hard. But, oh, every time someone comes along who could be, like, you know, actually influential, it's like, oh, everyone's gonna tear them down. It's like, okay, so you want to fucking lose. You know, you want this neoliberal hellscape that we live in. You want this, you know, you want the Koch brothers and the fucking, you know, the Rupert Murdoch and Lachlan Murdoch. I can never fucking, their names are impossible. The, like, Murdochs, and you want these people to just continue on. Like, we should just, you know, all of us peasants, we should just give up our lives for the Dow Jones, right? Is that what we should do? Like, because that's what eventually you're, like, advocating for, really. Think about it. The Bushes. Yes. Exactly. Man. Don't even get me started. I still think... Okay, so I got my mom into this whole thing, like, I'm like, okay, so, but you know that, like, George Bush probably killed JFK, right? And she's like, what? That's insane. What are you talking about? Now, my mom's a baby boomer. And, like, and so, like, okay. The thing that convinced her that I might have a point is that I pointed out that when he was asked where he was when JFK was killed, George Bush, H.W. Bush, said he didn't remember. Like, my mom was, like, 6 when that happened, and she fucking remembers where she was. So, yeah, the Bushes, fuck yeah, they're definitely part of it. Jesus, don't even get me started. Oh my god. Kanye was right. God damn it. Kanye was right when he said that George Bush doesn't care about black people, doesn't care about any people. Fuck him. Ugh. Don't even start it. We're way off track. Let me get back to this. Okay. Ridiculousness. Alright. I don't care how prepared you are. There is no way to win their game. Yes. Skull and Bones. Yale. I know all about it. And, Prescott. Prescott was Skull and Bones, and, like, I mean, they've been, like, yeah, it's fucked up. And they're, like, a feeder, like, thing to the, or, like, a feeder school to the CIA, right? I think so. Skull and Bones in particular. And then all that shit with Geronimo. Fuck them. They're just terrible, terrible people. Not good at all. And they're from Connecticut. They're not from Texas. They're from Connecticut. I remember! Pepperidge Farms remembers. Anyway. You're right. Anyway. Let's see. I don't care how prepared you are. There is no way to win their game. The only way we can win is not to play. Well, then you'd have to give the fucking interview. And the only way, and the way to not play is to quit. Pancho Villa said. I thought it was Geronimo. Wait, Pancho Villa was the Zapatistas, right? I thought that was like in the 90s. I don't know. I thought it was Geronimo's skull. But yeah, I know, and they like, yeah. We won't go into all that. I might get demonetized, but horrible people. Ugh. Yeah, Mexican, yeah. Pancho Villa. Fucking badass. Okay, let's see. And the way to not play is to quit. Again, this is like, I don't get this shit. The way to not play is to quit. So why did you do the interview? Good on Doreen for being satisfied with her occupation, for being her own boss, and for having a work-life balance. Absolutely a model for us to admire. Shame on Jessie Waters for laughing at her for doing work and having aspirations she finds meaningful. Oh, thank you, Andy. That's nice. Yeah, I know. Terrible, right? Ugh, gross. Ugh. Could get into the whole thing about fucking... we don't know where Dick Cheney was on 9/11. We still don't know that. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, there's all kinds of... man. And now, I'm sorry, but, like, isn't it kind of bullshit that, like, Liz Cheney is now, like, the Republican with morals or whatever, or, like, the principled Republican? Like, I'm sure the only problem that she probably had with January 6th was the fact that they weren't wearing suits. Like, the Cheneys loved a riot when it was, you know, guys in suits. They were fine with it then. I'm sorry, but, like, it's a bunch of bullshit, dude. Fucking people. Like, how can people forget this shit? I don't know. Like, ooh. Iraq had no weapons of mass destruction. It's like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's why we're sticking with this. And, like, I don't know. Man. That's the thing, like, they don't even need to infiltrate anyone at this point. Like, people are just doing their jobs for them. With shit like this. Shit like this interview. Yeah. Okay, another subredditor says, I think we need somebody who is articulate and well spoken to do interviews for the sub. Shouldn't we all get to choose? Like maybe take it to a vote? Ooh, provocative. Someone else says, yes, this, please. The interview was such an embarrassment. This mod is not representative of most of us. Honestly, considering leaving Antiwork, as at least until we get some shit sorted out. Then someone says, don't do interviews full stop. Issue well-crafted statements that hit all the salient pieces of information. Then the media can quote from that. Oh my god. Yeah, and then, there's an aside about votes and how voting should work and how, the sub started as an anarchist thing, and now why should we vote if it's an anarchist thing? Again, like, you run into this thing where it's like, oh, well, a group of anarchists, how could they ever get organized? It's like a contradiction. And it's like, okay, so, like, do you want to fucking lose? Like, how are you going to take down a system? How are you going to even change a system if you can't get fucking organized because of whatever la crap? Like, I'm sorry, like, apparently I'm not an anarchist because none of this shit's making sense. I just, I mean, it's not that, like, the ideology in it of itself doesn't make sense. It's just the way that people seem to actually apply it in real life doesn't quite seem to map onto reality. All right. Okay. Then someone said, oh, you sucked at your interview. That's true. And again, the mod says, try to summarize a complicated philosophy in seconds on live television with someone you know has the exact opposite ideas from you. It's so frustrating. Okay, person responds, I would have started with a pen and paper and wrote down my ideas. You did real damage to our cause today. They respond, I'm not lying on live TV? Like, what the hell? Wait, who said anything about lying? And even if I had written down my ideas, you know what he would have done? Spoken over me or cut the interview. I did the best I could and didn't know the questions in advance. You didn't have to do the interview. You literally didn't have to do the interview. Why the fuck would you do, of all people, like, with any network, why would you agree to do an interview with Fox News? It makes no sense. Anyway, then someone else chimes in. Hey, I've helped people do well in interviews for a living. This was not great. If an opportunity like this ever arises again, you need to clean yourself up, brush out your hair, fix your lighting so that you look good. Beyond that, prepare yourself. Know what you're going to say and stick to it. Don't fall into traps of answering leading questions. Just answer the version of the question that allows you to stick to your talking points. Live TV is easy because they can't edit you and you can say your piece. This felt like an unprepared appearance on a national news network, which is unfortunate given the number of people being represented by it. Again, 1.7 million people in this sub. This mod responds, yet, like, I don't understand, like, why not just say, like, yeah, I'll do better next time? Why not just say, like, yeah, no, I really cocked that one up. Sorry, guys. I'll improve. I'll do better. I'll take, if anyone wants to help me, I'll, like, I mean, there's so many people who are willing to help, who want to see success. And yet, instead we get this. I had done interviews before, but never live, and I underestimated how different it was. I won't be making that mistake again. I'm fine with how I looked. And, like, it's not even a dig on looks. Like, you have to have, like, a light in front of you for people. Like, you have to have a camera that focuses. That's it. Like, it's not a dig on anyone's physical appearance. So, guess what? Someone responds with a logical, response that says, then don't do the interview. And then, again, I don't, why? Why do people do that? I don't understand. This response. They were going to do the segment either way and say what they said. I felt at the time it was better to have someone to try and counter them. You can respectfully criticize how I did. That's fine. Response. What did you counter exactly? The mod. I said try, didn't I? I gave it my best shot. If folks don't like it, that's fine. I have no plans to do anything like this anytime soon. Response. You didn't try at all. The absolute least you could have done is try to look presentable. You came off like every stereotype of a Reddit mod, and for good reason. Brush your hair next time. Put a shirt with a collar on. Jesus Christ, what are you, in Arrested Development? Any chance Fox paid her to do so terribly? I couldn't imagine being interviewed on Fox and not even showering before. If you're going to, sorry, I got the pronouns wrong. That person referred to them by the wrong pronouns, and I don't know, I'm gonna respond. Bleh. That was her response to that, though. Anyway, another person says, really not wanting to be horrible because it's clear you were very nervous. But this likely has severely impacted the way people look at this group and how likely they are to think of it as a serious movement. This sub clearly wants to be taken seriously, and this was not the way to go about it. And, I just don't see how this isn't obvious. The very basics of, anything, if you have a point to make, especially if it's political and it affects people's lives, the very least you want to do is to, allow people to see you. Again, it's not about, technology. It's not about, spending a lot of money on stuff. It's not about, making sure you look good on camera. It's just, presentability. Okay, I know it's shallow. Oh my god, it's shallow. But you know what? People are fucking shallow. Okay? People are visual. TV, live streaming, YouTube, whatever, anything you're recording is a visual medium. And if you're not going to even take the time to get a light in front of your face, and you're going to be backlit and have nothing actually showing, or any sort of proper anything, well, then clearly you're not serious. You're not serious about your message. You're not serious about what you believe in. I mean, come on. Come on. At a certain point, you gotta let people know that you're serious. Just get the fucking footage. Get the fucking, get it fucking shot. That's it. Who cares? Who cares if you do it in the middle of the night? It doesn't matter. As long as you have it. As long as people can see it. As long as it's somewhere. Just at least do that. Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry. Okay. Someone else says, I visited this subreddit a few times because I always believed it was about working hard and being treated fairly. I thought it was about citizens seeking for livable wages. Then I went through the mod's history and saw that he's complaining that working 20 hours a week is too much, that walking 2 hours a day, fucking dog walking, 5 days a week was too taxing. What an absolute joke. How is this even logical? How is it even logical? How is any of this even logical? How are any of these arguments even logical? How is this a movement that people are actually trying to, popularize? It's a joke. I mean, you run into these sort of things. This sort of, like, attitude over and over. It's just, like, you know, sort of, I mean, okay, so in the interview, this mod says that laziness is a virtue in a country that's always trying to make you productive. Now, in the context of a culture that is constantly trying to exploit your labor, then rest is definitely demonized and vilified. But that's not a message. like glorifying the idea of being lazy, that's not something that's going to resonate with anyone who isn't already familiar with these ideas. This is America. Okay? People, like, you can't say socialist. People will get upset. People get upset at the word progressive. So, like, you're gonna go onto a network, the most hostile network, and say, I'm an anarchist and laziness is a virtue? And think that that's gonna be effective for the movement. Really. Like, none of this is based in reality. It's based in this ideal, in this fantasy, in this world that people wish existed. It would be great if the world were like that. But it's just not reality. Oh, I'm lazy as hell, man. Like, shit. Why do you think I haven't been on here for a while? Like, I'm just fucking lazy. I've been, like, tired. I've just been, like, chilling, man. But that's the thing, like, but, like, the thing is, like, in our society, we feel guilty for resting. Even if we work every minute of every day, every, like, waking moment, we still feel guilty for resting. You know what I say? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we call that being lazy. Aw, thank you. Yeah, I used to do, like, once a week, but, like, I know it was a lot. Like, I don't know, like, it was, like, my whole life, I was just trying, like, I don't know. It was so stressful trying to come up with, like, stuff to talk about that people would be interested in, but, like, I guess now I can just do current events, right? I know, I used to, like, also cover, like, way more niche kind of stuff with, like, very, like, small scale kind of goings on, drama, you know, stuff. So, I don't know. Yeah, I should definitely scale it up again, though. I'm getting there. I'm working on it. Shit, now I have a setup again, so we'll get there. Promise. But thank you, that's so nice. Like, I really appreciate that. Like, I don't know, it's like, sorry, this is an aside, but, like, you know, just falling out of, like, practice of doing this every week, it's like, you know, it's like, well, I don't know, it's not even, like, anything out of it. Like, you know, I don't know, I'm not really, like, totally motivated by views, but, like, you do want people to, like, get something out of it. Like, you don't want to just shout into the void, right? Yeah. Periscope. Right. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Periscope, what a mess. Yeah. All kinds of bullshit. Well, I don't know. It's actually funny, because, like, it started on YouTube, but then it went to Periscope, because people wouldn't get, like, banned from Periscope the way that you might get banned from YouTube, especially now. Anyway, but then all that stuff kind of died down anyway, so this stuff's way more interesting, right? I hope. Oh my god. Let's hope. Okay, but anyway, thank you so much, Andy. Like, I appreciate that. And thank you for hanging in from apparently the Periscope days, TEK. Like, don't know if anyone. I love Periscope. Me too. Well, I loved that they didn't enforce copyright because I could play like playlists and that was awesome. I love doing that. Like, I would like dance scopes. I would like, because I could play music. I don't know. I would experiment like all kinds of bullshit. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like fun and they never flagged you for shit. So you could just play a bunch of fucking like Jay-Z and Beyonce and you'd be fine. I loved that shit. Man, yeah, if I could just like play music on here, I totally would. That was my main thing. Anyway. But yeah, fun times, I guess. Maybe, kind of, sort of. Meh. Man, I really kind of dried up. The Goon Squad. Oh, man. Oh, wow. So you're like from real Periscope then, huh, Andy? Yeah, the Goon Squad. Wow. Yeah, that's a throwback. But the Goon Squad fought with everyone. Like, that's the thing, like, so many people on Periscope were just, like, constantly looking for a fight. I don't know, I kind of felt like it got kind of boring, because, like, these people were just always looking for a fight. I guess that's kind of why I left, but, yeah, no, I mean, you could, like, people would get pissed off over, like, just utter bullshit, right? Oh, yeah? Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't know if I was Periscope famous, nothing that glamorous, but... I had way more, like, followers on there. I had, like, 16K followers or something on Periscope at the time I actually left. Yeah, it was good times. And then no one followed me over here. Like, I guess 2 or 3 people, maybe. So, whatever. But, yeah, like, oh, man. Good times, though. One guy had a heart attack. Which one? I feel like... people started dying, right? Like, I mean, towards the, like, again, sort of, I went back once or twice after I officially left. And yeah, people were telling me that, like, all these people were dying and stuff. Like, so, like, which one? Oh, thank you, TK. I appreciate that. I really do. Especially because, like, there's a mechanism that lets me actually earn money on here. And unlike Periscope ever did. Like... I mean, really, it makes a huge difference. It's worth way more to, like, follow me over here. Well, I know. I gotta get on Twitch, too. Like, that's where, like, the real money is these days. I really do. So, if you guys don't follow me already, Viewer's Choice Live on Twitch. Wait, let me see if I can... Sorry, this is totally an aside. Sorry, guys. I'm, like, that's my ADD brain. Let me see if I can pull this up real fast, but... I'm gonna be on Twitch more because that's where people can actually make money and where the algorithm doesn't, constantly, direct you to fucking MAGA people. Let me see. Oh, gee, what is this? Oh, fuck, what's my... Oh, I don't even know what let me, like, log in right now. Anyway, wait, I don't think I can... Wait, maybe I can just do this. 1 second. Hell yeah, there we go. Alright. So, yeah, if you guys want to, like, keep allowing me to, like, live... Again, we live in capitalism. It sucks, but it's true. Say man on Twitch. Oh, sweet. Appreciate that. Or, oh, Jesus, come on. Oh my god, now it's not fucking copying. Okay, sweet. Alright. I will follow back. Absolutely. Awesome. I can't log in right now because if I do, the Streamlabs OBS will, like, kick me off of here. Because I can only stream through it to, like, YouTube or Twitch. But I will follow you back when I can log into it. Thank you. So, yeah. If you guys want me to, be able to eat and stuff, I would appreciate that. Anyway, because I do have to get on there more. But yeah, wow. How do we get talking about all this? Oh, right, Periscope. Dude. Mess. But, like, people start dying, dude. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Got pretty heavy. Anyway, sorry. Let's get back to this. Back to this mess. Which I guess is still drama, right? Alright. So. Oh, God, right. See, like, this, it just keeps going. And I don't know why people do this. Like, like, okay, so you set yourself up to fail. You do this interview on this hostile platform where you know they like they specialize in making people look horrible, you know, if they don't agree with them. And then you come back and you say this. I walk almost 2 hours a day, but that's not my entire shift. The dog walking. She's a dog walker. I'm also a full-time student, and I have another part-time job. Well, then why didn't you mention that on the fucking interview? I just didn't mention that in the interview because he didn't ask me any of that. You could have said it. All he asked me was what I did for a living, and I told him that I do dog walking for about 20 to 25 hours a week, which is true. I'm also a full-time student, and I have another part-time job that I do when I need, on a need-to basis. But ultimately, it doesn't matter how much I work, because we should all be striving to work as little as possible. That's the whole point of the movement. Is it? Because, I mean, the thing is, like, people don't mind working. Like, people don't mind making an effort for something they love and they're passionate about. Like, that's why people have hobbies. That's why people, like, you know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that people love to do that's an incredible amount of work. It's being exploited. You know, it's being paid a wage that doesn't allow you to live. That's what people have a problem with. Like, people aren't allergic to working hard. People enjoy working hard. I mean, there's all kinds of, like, you know, scientific surveys that shows that, like, people enjoy challenges. People enjoy, like, you know, putting puzzles together. People enjoy video games. People love a challenge. People love work. It's not work that people don't like. Oh, hey, Vinny, how are you? What's up? It's been forever. How's it going? How's it going around Boyd? How have you been? How's Oz? I'm talking about my commie shit, so it might make you pretty angry. Oh well. Okay. So, this person thinks that not doing any work is the point of the movement. Yeah, you too. Yeah, I'm glad to see you're around. It's awesome. I know, I never, like, really follow Boyd these days, but, like, I'm glad you guys are still keeping on, right? Oh, yeah, that's Vinny. Like, you know Vinny, right? Yeah, I was, on Boyd pretty hardcore after I transferred back over here, I guess. It's pretty okay, I guess. Man, it's a mess. The whole world's a mess, right? Man. I'm just, you know. I know, either gonna overthrow the government or, I don't know, start vaping more. It's a joke, kind of. Yeah, so yeah, we're recounting the fallout from the r Antiwork subreddit drama, which is it's pretty magnificent when it comes to drama. So, all right. I mean, imagine like an entire subreddit of 1.7 million people being completely pissed off at you for doing a crappy interview, which was a really bad interview, to be fair. But you know, sure, yeah, okay, yeah. Let me see how. Oh, you know what? Let's see. I have a Discord now, which is how I've been doing it because it's like free. So if you want, I think. Okay, let me see if I can pull up this really quickly. 1 second. So I don't know if you do like the Discord thing at all, Vinny. But if you do, then I will send you a link right now. If it will let me. Nope, it's my thing. Wait, how do I do this again? Wait, 1 second. I will get here. Oh, whoa. What? Okay. Oh wait, no, I can get you direct to this, so you don't have to like do anything. Wait, all right, I just have to click this. All right. Yeah, if you want to hit that, yeah, feel free. As usual. Let me just play with these volumes a little bit. Feel free. And as usual, if anyone wants to join, feel free, of course. Let's see. This should work. Oh, wait, 1 second. Dirt. Hello? Wait 1 second. If I can get this. Oh my god, so annoying. Oh yeah, okay. Let's see, how do I get this into OBS? 1 second. What a mess. Hey, Vinny. Okay, I can hear you. Okay, let's. Yeah, I can hear you. Let's see. Can anyone hear Vinny? If you want to talk, that would be great.
Which means you've got mute.
Oh,
that.
okay. Alright, I think you're picking up. So, sweet. Yeah, thanks for being here. How are you?
Good, thanks yourself. It's been a while since we chatted.
I know, it's been forever. Like, it's been forever since I've been on here.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Oh, well, I don't know if you're aware, but Reddit had a bunch of drama. Like a few days ago, there was a big interview on Fox News with the moderator, the like longest run like moderator. Oh, thank you, Tech. Okay, moderator of a subreddit called Antiwork,
Yeah.
and it was a mess. Did you see this? Were you familiar with this?
No. Keep going. I'm interested. I'm learning.
Yeah, well, it was a disaster. A complete disaster. Everyone was so pissed off at the way that the subreddit was represented. Because well, the moderator looks like the stereo.
Is it political?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
It would be definitely politically motivated.
Yeah. Well, it was it's sort of like an anti-capitalist, like well, the whole point of the subreddit, it provided a place for people who are like exploited by their bosses, exploited by their industry, and just not being treated fairly or with dignity to come together.
Modern-day slavery.
Yeah, wage slavery, all of that. Yeah, I mean, just the kind of exploitation that people were talking about, like, it's horrible. Like, I mean, there are so many stories that people, like, that just, it's a shame.
Exploitation now is rampant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rampant.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't realize it. It's just everywhere.
Exactly. Like.
Yeah, and it's in our backyards. It's us. It's them. We all exploit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean.
One way or another.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's
when
like.
it comes down to businesses.
Yeah.
They exploit us.
Exactly. And like that's like our entire system is based on exploitation. And so much of anti-work isn't about like not working. It's about not like allowing for exploitation any further. Like we have to change the entire system. We can't allow ourselves to exploit the world anymore. I mean, like, the entire world is going to burn up. Like, we can't.
Yeah.
We can't keep growing. We can't have exponential growth on a finite planet.
No. Hey, listen, Felicia, I've got to get going. I just really wanted to say hi, but keep up the good work. I'll be listening. I've just got some people over.
Oh, yeah, no, I understand. Thank you for being here, and thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, that's all right. No worries. Bye.
Thank you. Aw. It's good to hear from Benny. Thanks again. Okay, so back to this infighting, right? Because, I mean, it's amazing. Okay. So, after all of this, after all of these defensive responses, someone finally says, "Your arrogance and inability to think about how much damage you did is terrible, and you should feel bad about it. Thank you for acknowledging that you shouldn't do this again. Do better." And then, of course, the moderator responds with, "If I was so arrogant, wouldn't I have said that I did perfectly and didn't need to improve?" Like, I don't know why people do this shit. Like, always some excuse. Like, it just gets to a point where it's just like, excuse. No, I've said that I could have done better elsewhere. Or, I don't feel bad about any kind of damage that I've done. I think I did the best with what I got. Like, I just, again, you see this, and it's like, you end up having these conversations with people, and supposedly you have the same goal, which is, to further empower this movement, to further empower people who have been exploited, who have been oh wow, wait, no, how come that came up here? I hear him? It's like Streamlab is growing right before my eyes. Okay, so now I have a little bit of my chat box on the screen back. Oh, I don't know. YouTube never plays well with anything. So, I mean, that's progress though. Thanks, YouTube. I guess. Okay. Sorry, I just like randomly noticed. I'm like, oh my god, wait, I set that up ages ago and now it's finally working. Sweet. Kind of. Maybe. Let's hope. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. So, response to that is, your arrogance is honestly fucking astounding, and you've made us all look terrible, which is true. And then someone chimes in to agree and says, everybody should be calling for this mod to step down immediately, which I agree with. Single-handedly fucked up the optics of this movement without even trying to get input from the community. Or outright dismissing it, honestly. Sometimes, someone else says, sometimes doing nothing is better than doing something. And on certain public stages, trying isn't good enough. You basically have to be practiced and on message. Basically perfect. It's why companies have PR departments with spokespeople. Which, again, like this is not a point to be like argued against. This is just how it is. This is the truth. It's not fair. It's not right. Yeah, everyone should be given equal time. Everyone should be given equal consideration, but that's not how like reality works. Like you have to do things to signal that you're serious. If you want anyone to even try listening to what you have to say in the first place. Like, yeah, no, it's not fair. But, like, it's not relevant. I don't know. It's crazy. Anyway. So, this person completely inverts, the moderator, again, completely inverts what was just said and says, I agree that doing something is better than doing nothing. Not what was said. That said, I'm still confident that I did the best I could with the shit material I was given. You're free to disagree. Like, so the shit material was, like, the entire... Oh, wait, let me disconnect from this so I'm not using up extra... whatever... That's always yelling at me. Alright, so yeah, so like, oh, thanks, Vinny, thanks for joining, appreciate that. Yeah, so like, okay, so the shit material, is the shit material the subreddit with 1.7 million people talking about their own exploitation? Or, like, I mean, how are you not able, how have you been, like, a moderator for a forum, essentially, like, for, like, 7 years, and you can't explain what it's for or what it's about? Like, what... Like, what's the shit material then? Like, what is, like, what do you not have that you need that would have made this go better? I just don't, there's, like, a constructive way to look back at things that didn't go well, or, like, things you wish you could do over. And then there's just, like, just this, like, brain foggy kind of shit that, like, oh, well, it was shit material. Oh, really? Well, then you've spent 7 years devoting your life to shit material. Is that true? I don't think so. Like, so, like, why couldn't you write some shit out? Like, why couldn't you, like, oh my god, like, introductory stuff. I could probably fucking come up with an introductory thing for my channel in, like, 2 seconds. Like, I would forget it after 2 seconds, which is why I would have to write it down. But that's kind of what people do, right? That's why. Because they forget. I mean, it's so simple. It's so rudimentary. And it's so sad to see people, like, just stymieing a movement that could have actual, like, potential. You know, that could have an actual impact politically. You know? It's very sad. Anyway. Oh my god. Okay, see, like, what this person says, I agree. Homie, if you can't look at a goddamn camera, why on earth would you think it would be a good idea to be the one to go on TV and actually make an embarrassment of the community and yourself? You should have just let out a statement that all the mods had thought of together, or literally anything else besides someone who doesn't even look like they have even done a show and tell in kindergarten. This was so pathetic. There's no, like, punctuation. It's pretty hard with this one. This is so pathetic. And to tell them you are a dog walker and think that's hard? Jesus Christ, get a real job breaking your back and not living in your parents' basement and think you are being overworked. The point of this movement is for workers to not be abused and taken away from their life for a majority of the week and letting them live. But I'm glad you're working 25 hours a week walking dogs, which sounds honestly like a delight to do. And you can think you are doing too much. Seriously and respectfully, get bent. And, like, again. Okay, so, like, having people who are in a privileged position to live with their parents and stuff, that can be an asset to the movement. Like, if it's all people who are constantly working, then, like, everyone's too tired to, like, come up with, like, frivolous bullshit, like, interviews to do, you know? Like, there is a role, again, for, like, people who are, you know, maybe not on the front line. And it's not that it's not valid. But this kind of representation, I mean, it's just not the way to do it. And you just see people equivocate these kind of, like, crazy sort of, like, nonsensical points, saying, like, oh, well, I feel good about what I did. But okay, you're supposed to be representing an entire group. You're there to speak for the group, right? But you're okay with just, like, not even having the, like, bare minimum. Not even having the basics. I just don't understand it. Like, I mean, like, how is it that I prepare more to come on here than you do to go represent 1.7 million people on, like, one of the largest propaganda channels in the entire world? Like, I just don't. Does anyone remember, like, the interview on Fox that, like, Bernie Sanders did with, like, a live, like, crowd? And he was like, and they were like, oh, who here would want free healthcare? And everyone raised their hand. And they were like, like, it's pretty easy to beat people, or at least these people, at their own game. Especially when you have, like, popular policies and ideas on your side. I just don't know how people are, like, how people would stick with, like, just making these dumb excuses that are just go nowhere kind of things that just will not even allow for growth, don't allow for development, don't even allow for, like, a review on what you might have done and, like, how it could be improved, you know? Like, to not even try. Anyway. Man, it's a bunch of stuff I've been meaning to get out, like to actually like give like voice to for a while. So I think I'm gonna wrap this up right now. But yeah, I just felt like as someone who just watches people kind of like, I just feel like I watch so many people get caught in these sort of like cognitive sort of distortions, or like, you know, sort of just like these like cognitive patterns that don't serve them, and like that, like people who could really be like an asset to a group, like to a popular movement. I felt moved after catching up on this, and like I caught up on it earlier today, and like I was just like, you know what, I just gotta vent the shit. So here we are. And yeah, it's like 2 a.m. here. I cannot believe it. So yeah, I'm gonna like log off. Thank you guys for being here, and thanks for the walk down memory lane from like Periscope. Man, those were some messy days. Wow. Rest in peace, I guess. Periscope and all the people who are not with us from Periscope. I don't know, a bunch of people died, right? I'm pretty sure. That's what I was told. Anyway, well, onward and upward, I guess. And I don't know, like it's really sad because like Antiwork, I thought it was a good name for a subreddit because it was like, what the hell does that mean? What's anti-work? How can you be anti-work? Like, that's like provocative, you know? So it's too bad that this whole like brand got tainted by like just some like boneheaded crap, and you know, just someone who didn't even think it through, and who clearly didn't prepare, and who clearly went completely against what the community supported and what was like wanted, like what people actually would have supported, and instead just sort of open themselves up to become self-parody. Really, it's too bad. And I feel like if you are on the left wing, and if you are a progressive or a socialist or a communist or an anarchist, it's important to keep that in mind. You know, like we all have to kind of work together. There are many forces that would seek to you know, drive us apart. And if we want to see progress and we want to see people live lives of dignity, then, well, a lot of precious bullshit you just have to give up. That's just how it is. You gotta change, you gotta evolve, and you gotta improve. We all do. I hope that we can, you know, see more of that. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Okay, I'll talk to you guys soon. I promise. There's other stuff I want to talk about, especially like recently that's happened on social media. So I don't know, I'll either be on like in a couple days, I think, maybe, or I don't know. Well, okay, I'll try to stick like around the weekend. So if not tomorrow night, then we'll try Sunday, hopefully. Let's see. I don't know. I know how this time gets away from me. It's, you know, pandemic brain, but fingers crossed. Thank you guys. Thank you for being here. I love you guys so much. Like, I can't even tell you how much it means to me that you guys even show up. Like, I'm always surprised. Like, I don't know why anyone would. I'm just like, oh my god, I'm just gonna go on and like blah blah blah, and just say whatever comes to mind. And it's always like, I really value that you guys show up. So thank you. And we'll talk soon. And until then, I will be in Discord, or I will be on Twitch at some point. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out if like Twitch should be something that's like the entire Twitch channel should be one thing that it's devoted to, and like that should be it. Like, just like text-based video games, that's it. Just narrating that. Or if it should be like more general, like, discussion, like talking about stuff like this. I don't know. It seems like people kind of stick to their genre on Twitch, which like is hard for me. So I'm gonna try to do that. Fingers crossed. God help me. I don't know how, but I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep trying to improve because we all have to, and that's key. So I'll talk to you guys soon. I love you all. Like, you don't even know how much it means to me. You're here. Good night. Thanks again.